Chosen one. Pause for a moment. Heaven is drawing near. This is not just another passing message on your screen. It is a divine interruption, a whisper from eternity breaking through the noise of your day. The Spirit of God is reaching for your attention, reminding you that you have not been forgotten. You have been marked for this exact hour. All those years of silence were not wasted. Every unanswered prayer, every lonely night, every season where you felt invisible, they were all part of the divine blueprint. You were being shaped, not sidelined. You were being refined, not rejected. Heaven has been building endurance within you, teaching your heart how to recognize truth in a world filled with counterfeit promises. You see, the anointing that rests on you required preparation. That's why life seemed to strip away so much, because the weight of your calling could not rest on anything shallow or untested. The fire you endured was never meant to destroy you. It was designed to purify what was eternal inside you. And now, in this very moment, heaven speaks again. The time has come. You can feel it, can't you? That quiet stirring in your spirit. That trembling awareness that something greater is awakening inside you. You've been sensing the shift for weeks, maybe months, like a distant sound growing louder with each sunrise. That's the sound of your destiny approaching. That's the sound of the gift God promised finally drawing near. Do not mistake this for coincidence. Heaven does not deal in accidents. You are reading these words because divine timing has reached you. The gates of heaven have opened over your life, and what was delayed is now being delivered. You are stepping out of survival and into assignment. You are transitioning from waiting to walking, from hoping to holding. Beloved, heaven has seen the warfare you faced, the nights when you questioned your worth, the moments you almost gave up. The enemy attacked you hardest in the area of your purpose because he knew what would happen once you awakened. But no matter how fierce the darkness became, your light endured. And now that same light is about to break forth like the dawn. You are standing in your divine hour. The weight on your shoulders is about to transform into wings. The pain that once defined you will now become your platform. You are no longer hidden, you are being revealed. You are no longer forgotten, you are being commissioned. And the living word confirms this promise through the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 13. The Lord will make you the head and not the tail. You shall be above only, and you shall not be beneath. Do you hear that? Chosen one, heaven decrees elevation. The season of spiritual drought ends here. What was stolen will be restored. What was dormant will awaken. You are about to see favor move in ways that defy logic. Every no from your past was heaven's way of preserving the yes that mattered most, the one spoken now. The heavens have taken notice of your endurance. Your faith, though shaken, never died. It became the seed of your miracle. Every unseen act of obedience is now drawing divine reward. What once felt like silence will soon echo with the sound of answered prayer and unexpected breakthrough. You are stepping into a chapter written by God's own hand. Doors you never knew existed are about to open effortlessly. The same places that once rejected you will now call for you. Heaven is shifting the atmosphere in your favor, aligning every detail to fulfill what was spoken over your life. And as the light within you grows stronger, your steps will be guided by divine wisdom. Fear will no longer govern your choices. The Spirit will lead you with clarity and peace, revealing strategies, connections, and opportunities that manifest the promise you've carried for so long. So stand tall. Straighten your crown. You are not who you were a year ago. The battles that almost broke you have now qualified you. You've been through the fire and you've come out refined, glowing with a strength only heaven could give. This is your awakening. The Lord Himself has called your name. Angels are being dispatched to align opportunities with your obedience. Heaven is watching to see how you respond. Will you rise? Will you say yes if you feel this stirring in your spirit? Act on it now. Like this message to seal your agreement with Heaven's word. Share it, so others may awaken too. Subscribe and stay connected to the divine current flowing through this space. And finally, comment 777 below as a prophetic act, declaring I receive my divine gift and step into my appointed destiny. Remember, chosen one, this moment is sacred. It carries the weight of your next chapter. The heavens have spoken and the earth is responding. The time has come. God has sent the gift that was always meant for you. Chosen one. You have walked through years that felt forgotten, seasons where the heavens were silent, and moments when hope seemed to fade like smoke in the wind. Yet even in that silence, heaven was not still. The years you called empty were sacred. The loneliness you feared was not abandonment, it was divine preservation. The stillness around you was not a punishment, it was preparation for the unveiling that now begins. You see, what looked like delay was actually construction. Every unanswered prayer was a blueprint being drawn in the unseen. Every closed door was divine redirection. You asked for quick deliverance, but heaven was building endurance. You prayed for light, but God taught you how to shine in the dark. The silent years were not wasted, they were working for you, shaping you, forging strength where weakness once lived. There were nights when you whispered, God, where are you? And still, His presence hovered near, even when you could not feel it. The pain you endured was the language through which heaven spoke. The wilderness became your classroom. You learned how to trust without proof, how to love without return, how to wait without losing heart. That is the kind of faith heaven crowns. Many around you may not have understood your journey. They saw your silence and mistook it for defeat. They did not realize that God was writing a hidden chapter of your story, a chapter where He was not showing you off but shaping you deeply. The anointing you now carry could not have been born in ease. It had to be forged in the fire of waiting. The Spirit reminds you now nothing you went through will be wasted. Every tear was counted, every prayer archived, every moment of surrender written in heaven's records. The pain that nearly broke you has become proof of your endurance. The places where you thought God was absent are about to become altars of testimony. And as the ancient letter reminds us in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 28, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who are called according to His purpose. These words are not mere comfort. They are the blueprint of your story. The good, the bad, the waiting, the heartbreak, the confusion, all of it has been working together. Heaven does not waste pain. The divine purpose in your life has been interwoven into every season, even the ones that made no sense. You may not realize it yet, but what seemed like loss was preparation for leadership. Every person who left made room for divine replacements. Every door that shut redirected you toward a higher one. You thought God was delaying your promise, but He was ensuring that your character could sustain the weight of what was coming. Now that you look back, you can see glimpses of His hand. The delays protected you from distractions. The disappointments freed you from false alignments. The setbacks purified your motives. You were being trained for discernment, taught to distinguish between what glitters and what's truly gold. That kind of wisdom cannot be taught in comfort. It must be carved through endurance. Chosen one, what you called waiting was actually becoming. You were evolving, shedding old layers, and discovering the depth of who you truly are in Christ. Every moment in the shadows has given you authority in the light. You were not sleeping, you were germinating. The seed beneath the soil does not complain about darkness. It knows growth happens there. So did you. Now heaven looks upon you and says, "It is time." The patience you learned will now become strength. The humility you developed will now become influence. The faith you cultivated in private will soon produce miracles in public. Nothing in your timeline has been wasted. Every second has carried divine intention. Even when you questioned your worth, heaven never did. Even when you wondered if you were too late, heaven whispered, "You are right on time." The waiting was never about withholding. It was about transforming you into someone who could carry the promise without losing the purity of purpose. Think of the potter and the clay. The clay resists, but the potter knows the pressure is necessary. You were on the wheel, being shaped, pressed, and stretched, but never abandoned. What you saw as delay was the potter ensuring the vessel would not crack when filled with glory. Now, as you stand on the threshold of your new chapter, remember everything was necessary. The pain was prophetic. The silence was strategic. The waiting was worship. You have not been punished. You have been prepared. You are about to see how the pieces align. The prayers you thought God ignored were actually preserved for a greater release. The moments of weakness became testimonies of strength. The years you thought were wasted have set the stage for acceleration. Heaven is about to reveal why it took this long. Chosen one, there has always been something different about you, something the world could not quite name. But the spirit realm has always recognized. From your earliest memories, you have carried a quiet depth that set you apart. You have felt things others ignored, seen signs others overlooked, heard whispers in your heart that no one else could understand. This was not imagination, it was inheritance. Before you ever understood the concept of calling, heaven had already marked you. The mark of the chosen is not a visible crown, it is the weight of purpose that follows you through every season. You were born with an invisible seal, and though people have tried to label you as too sensitive, too intense, or too much, they were really describing your spiritual sensitivity. The darkness recognized you before you even recognized yourself. You wondered why you never fit in. You asked why relationships ended abruptly, why circles closed, why you always felt like an observer among the crowd. It was because you carry an atmosphere that disturbs the comfort of darkness. Demons tremble at your presence, even when you are unaware of your own power. The unseen world has always known who you are: a light bearer, a breaker of generational chains, a chosen vessel of transformation. You are not like the rest because you were never meant to be. The world rewards conformity, but heaven anoints difference. You were designed to stand out, to shine even in environments that do not understand your frequency. Every time you tried to dim your light for acceptance, heaven whispered, "No." You were created to disrupt, and the Spirit confirms this through the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5. "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations." These are not poetic words, they are your identity. You were known before conception, chosen before exposure, and appointed before recognition. This means that no mistake, no failure, and no rejection can erase what heaven established before your first breath. The world cannot cancel what God Himself ordained. Think back over your journey, the times when you narrowly escaped danger, when the wrong paths mysteriously closed, when something inside you whispered, "Don't go there," or "Walk away." That was not intuition alone, it was divine preservation. Heaven has been steering your steps because your life carries generational consequence. You are part of a divine storyline far bigger than yourself. Chosen one, that inner restlessness you feel is the call of destiny stirring again. You are not being punished by transition. You are being positioned by purpose. The discomfort is proof that your spirit no longer fits in small spaces. You were designed to expand, to lead, to illuminate. Heaven is pushing you out of complacency so you can step into your divine assignment. Do not despise your difference, celebrate it. What makes you misunderstood now will one day make you remembered. What isolates you today will distinguish you tomorrow. You are a carrier of a frequency this generation desperately needs. Your very existence is a sign that God is still moving among His people. When you speak truth, it cuts through deception. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere shifts. When you pray, invisible walls crumble. This is the evidence of your mark, the signature of the divine upon your soul. You don't have to announce it. The spirit realm already knows your name. There will always be those who misjudge you because they cannot interpret spiritual identity with natural eyes. Do not take offense. Your assignment was never meant to be understood by everyone. You are not here for validation, you are here for impact. Heaven did not choose you to be liked. It chose you to be light. So walk boldly in who you are. You do not need to apologize for your calling. You are the answer to a prayer someone else is still praying. The light within you is heaven's response to darkness somewhere else. Rise up and carry it with grace, confidence, and authority. Now, take this moment to seal your recognition of who you are. Type "I am chosen." Let those 3 words echo through your spirit. When you write them, you are not just typing, you are declaring alignment with heaven's decree over your life. You are rejecting every lie that said you were ordinary and embracing the truth that you are extraordinary by divine design. This declaration is not a comment for engagement, it is a covenant. It is you saying to the universe, to every principality and power, I know who I am now, and I refuse to hide anymore. Heaven records it, and the darkness hears it. The moment you declare it, the spiritual realm shifts in recognition of your awakening. Chosen one. Never forget the mark upon your life is not a burden. It is a crown. And though the world may not see it, heaven bows in reverence to it. You were known before time, chosen in love and sent with purpose. The hidden mark upon your soul is not a mystery anymore, it is your testimony. Chosen one. There were moments when the pain became too heavy to carry, and you wondered if heaven had turned its face away. You questioned how a loving God could allow so many tears, so many silent nights where your cries seemed to echo without answer. But what you didn't realize then is that heaven was not ignoring you. It was watching you being refined. Every breaking point was a birthplace of strength. Every sleepless night became a verse in your story of becoming. When the world could not see you, heaven did. When those you trusted turned away, the eyes of the Father never left you. He watched as your heart cracked under betrayal, as dreams crumbled in your hands, as hope flickered like a candle in the wind. And yet, even in the breaking, you were not abandoned. God was closer than breath, silent, yes, but not absent. The tears that fell were not wasted. In the realm of the divine, every tear has a purpose. Each one is a seed. And from those seeds grow forests of wisdom, compassion, and power. You have cried prayers too deep for words, and those tears became intercession. Heaven has been collecting them, not as reminders of your suffering, but as proof of your endurance. We are reminded through the writings of David in the book of Psalms, chapter 56, verse 8. You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book. You have felt broken beyond repair, but cracks are where the light enters. Your pain has made you transparent to heaven's glory. You are not the same person you were when you entered the storm. You have been reshaped, redefined, and resurrected from ashes. The version of you that stands now is stronger, softer, wiser, and far more dangerous to darkness. Pain, chosen one, is never random in the hands of God. It becomes sacred when surrendered. The suffering you endured was a language heaven understood. It was through that suffering that you learned empathy, the rare gift of feeling others' pain without judgment. You have gained a heart that sees beyond appearances, a spirit that listens beyond words. That is the inheritance of those who have been broken and restored. God saw when you reached your lowest, when you whispered, "I can't do this anymore." But even then, your breath was a prayer, and heaven answered by giving you just enough strength for the next step. One moment, one breath, one heartbeat at a time, you survived what was meant to destroy you. That survival alone is a miracle. When the world saw loss, heaven saw foundation. You were being stripped of things that could not go where you're going. The friendships that faded, the doors that closed, the opportunities that fell apart. They were all divine subtractions to make room for divine fullness. Sometimes God must empty your hands so that He can fill them again, this time with something eternal. Remember, chosen one, what broke you once will soon bless you. The people who left created the space for divine connections. The rejection that hurt you was redirection towards something better. The unanswered prayers were God's mercy disguised as silence. You were never forgotten. You were being prepared. There is a beauty in brokenness that only heaven understands. When your heart shattered, you became more available to grace. When your plans failed, you made space for divine purpose. When you lost control, you found surrender. The tears were never proof of weakness. They were proof that your heart was still soft enough for God to shape. One day soon, you will see it clearly, the pattern behind the pain, the alignment within the chaos, the divine hand that never let go. You will look back at the nights you thought would kill you and realize they were teaching you how to live. The pain did not come to end you, it came to equip you. Chosen one, even your wounds have wisdom now. You can speak healing into the lives of others because you know the language of suffering. You carry an authority that only the broken can possess, the authority to say, "I've been there, and God brought me out." You have become a living testimony that pain can become purpose. Every scar on your soul is now a story heaven can use. Do not hide your scars. Display them as proof of survival. They are the evidence that grace works, that love wins, that faith endures. You are not the wounded one anymore. You are the healed one who carries healing. Chosen one. The air around you is shifting. The unseen realm is stirring as heaven releases what has been prepared for you. You may not hear trumpets or see flashes of light, yet deep within your spirit, something begins to awaken, a peace, a power, a presence. The long-promised gift is no longer on its way. It has arrived, quietly, gently, like dawn unfolding over a sleeping city. You will feel it before you see it. It is not wrapped in gold or thunder, but in stillness and authority. It is the whisper in your heart that says, "You are ready now." Heaven has waited for this alignment, for your faith to mature, for your heart to heal, for your will to bend fully toward obedience. The gift comes when the vessel is ready. And at this very moment, you are. The divine gift does not come to entertain, it comes to empower. It will not make you famous, it will make you fruitful. This gift is not something you hold, it is something that holds you. It is wisdom that quiets chaos, peace that silences fear, clarity that dissolves confusion. You will carry it not in your hands, but in your presence. Imagine the seed hidden beneath the soil. For months it appears lifeless, forgotten, buried. Yet beneath the dirt, something sacred is happening. Roots are digging deep, unseen, preparing to support what will one day rise above. That is how heaven delivers gifts. They do not fall from the sky, they grow within us, cultivated through tears, tested by time, and revealed in perfect season. This gift, this divine investment has your name written upon it. No one else can carry it, activate it, or multiply it like you can. It is the reason you survived storms that others could not. It is why your heart still beats with a holy ache for purpose. You have been chosen to carry light in dark places, to speak hope where silence once reigned, to be heaven's answer to earthly pain, as was written long ago in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 17. Every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights, who does not change like shifting shadows. This verse is the heartbeat of your moment. The gift you sense is not random, it is divine perfection wrapped in purpose. The same God who placed stars in the night sky has placed this assignment in your spirit. It is both promise and responsibility, beauty and burden, calling and comfort. You may wonder, what do I do with it now? The answer is simple: steward it with reverence. Just as a musician practices before performing, you must cultivate your gift daily, feed it with prayer, strengthen it with wisdom, and protect it with humility. You were not given light to hide it beneath fear. Let it shine through your kindness, your words, your choices, your very existence. This gift will draw people to you, not because of who you are, but because of the presence you carry. Be gentle with that responsibility. When others approach, they are not coming for you, they are coming for the light in you. Be patient, be wise, and always point them back to the source. Now, if this word resonates with your spirit, if something inside you whispers, yes, this is me, then let your heart respond in gratitude. You can express it in small, sacred ways. When you like this message, it is more than a click, it is a silent amen, a way of saying, I receive this truth. When you share it, you become a messenger, a carrier of light, passing the flame to another weary soul who needs hope. When you subscribe, you are not just joining a list, you are choosing to remain close to the flow of divine reminders that strengthen your faith each week. And if you feel led to give, let it be from a pure heart, not out of obligation, but as an act of worship. Think of it like planting a seed in fertile soil. When you sow into what feeds your spirit, heaven multiplies it in ways unseen. Your offering becomes part of the story, a way of saying to God, use me to keep this light burning for others. Your generosity, whether through words, prayer, or giving, keeps the river of revelation flowing, like a lamp fed with oil. Every drop sustains the flame that guides lost hearts home. And every time someone awakens through these messages, your seed becomes part of that miracle. Chosen one. The gift that has been sent to you is not meant to stay hidden. It will ripple through generations. It will touch lives you may never meet. It will outlive you, echoing long after your time here. That is the beauty of divine gifts. They do not end with the receiver. They multiply through obedience. So breathe deeply and open your hands. The heavens are open. The promise is fulfilled. The Father smiles, watching his chosen vessel stand ready to carry what was always meant for them. Chosen one, something sacred is stirring within you. You can feel it, though you may not have words for it yet. It is a vibration in your spirit, a pulse from heaven itself, reminding you that what you carry inside is not ordinary. It is divine. The gift has already been deposited in you, like a hidden treasure waiting for the right moment to be revealed. You have felt it before, haven't you? The quiet pull in your chest, the whisper that says, "There's more." It comes when you look at the world and sense that you were made for something greater than routine survival. It speaks when you find yourself praying for others instead of yourself, or when peace suddenly fills the room without explanation. That is the sound of the gift awakening. Many search endlessly for signs of God's presence, but for you, His presence has always been within. You are a temple, a carrier of His Spirit. What you carry is not a mere feeling, it is the very breath of heaven. You were designed to hold divine energy, to release it through compassion, wisdom, and truth. The apostle reminds us in the first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 19. "Do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have received from God? But this gift within you must be recognized to be activated. A lamp cannot glow if it doesn't realize it holds light. And you, chosen one, are that lamp. The flame already burns, you only need to stop doubting your own fire. You were chosen not because you were perfect, but because you were willing. God saw your openness, your hunger, your humility, and He decided that you could carry His presence to places where others would never go. Think of it like a musician holding an instrument. The beauty of the song is not in the wood or strings, but in the breath, in the life moving through it. You are the instrument, the Spirit is the song. Together, you release sounds that shift the atmosphere, words that heal, actions that restore, presence that brings calm where there was once chaos. There will be moments when the enemy tries to convince you that what you feel isn't real. He will whisper, "You're imagining this, you're not called." But remember, the enemy only attacks what threatens him. The very fact that doubt arises is proof that destiny is near. You don't need outside validation when heaven has already confirmed you. Your assignment is simple: make room for the gift to flow. When you speak, speak with intention. When you pray, pray with authority. When you walk into a space, do it with awareness that you carry heaven's light. You are not small, you are significant. The divine energy inside you is meant to overflow, touching hearts, awakening faith, and dismantling fear. And yet, you must protect it. Do not let negative voices drown the whisper of God within. Silence distractions. Guard your peace. The world will try to dim what it cannot define, but your strength lies in quiet confidence. Keep your eyes fixed on the one who called you. Every time you align with His voice, the gift inside you grows stronger. This season, heaven is inviting you to step boldly into awareness. Miracles do not happen only in temples or churches, they happen wherever you choose to carry the presence. When you forgive, when you speak kindness, when you intercede for another, you become a living sanctuary. You are proof that God still dwells among His people. The time of hiding is over. You have been entrusted with the power to restore, to awaken, to speak life. You are not an observer of God's work, you are a participant in it. What was once dormant is now alive. The Spirit within you is stirring, calling you higher, asking you to remember who you truly are. Now, chosen one, take this moment and make it sacred. Let heaven hear your agreement. Type 888 below, not as a number, but as a declaration. It symbolizes new beginnings, divine alignment, and infinite grace. When you write it, you are not engaging with the screen, you are engaging with heaven. You are saying, "I recognize the gift within me and I choose to let it flow." As your fingers move, the act itself becomes prayer. The realm of the unseen responds to obedience. Angels take note of agreement. Every time you affirm what God has spoken, your inner light grows stronger. You begin to see not with natural eyes, but with spiritual clarity. This is your awakening, your invitation to live as one who knows they are filled, guided, and chosen. The gift within you is not waiting for the perfect moment, it is the perfect moment. Step forward now, radiant and aware, for heaven has already declared you carry my presence. Chosen one, when heaven begins to move within you, darkness notices. The war for your anointing does not begin when you fail, it begins when you awaken. From the moment you realize who you are, the unseen realm responds. Every power of confusion, fear, and distraction begins to gather, hoping to silence the voice that is rising in you. The battle is not proof of abandonment, it is evidence of importance. You are being opposed because you are carrying something that threatens hell itself. You may have wondered why, the moment you started to grow, opposition intensified. Why peace seemed to vanish when you chose obedience. Why people who once celebrated you began to distance themselves. It is because light and darkness cannot coexist in the same space without collision. You did not lose peace, you entered battle. The gift you carry shines too brightly to go unnoticed by the enemy. Hell does not waste resources on the indifferent. It only attacks what has value. The heaviness you feel at times is not weakness, it's warfare. The discouragement that whispers in your ear is not truth, it's resistance. Every spiritual battle is a confirmation that you have something worth stealing. The enemy fears your awakening because once you fully operate in your calling, his influence in your atmosphere ends. You must remember that spiritual warfare is not fought by emotion but by awareness. When you recognize that your thoughts, fears, and sudden chaos are not random, you begin to take authority. The enemy's primary weapon is deception, making you believe that what is spiritual is merely circumstantial. But you have been given discernment to see through illusion. You know that not every storm is natural. Some are sent to distract you from prayer, from purpose, from peace. The strength of a warrior is not in the absence of battle, but in the calm within it. You have been equipped for this war long before it began. Every hardship you endured became armor. Every tear became oil on your sword. You are not defenseless. You are divinely armed. The prophet spoke in the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 17. No weapon that is formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. That is not just a verse, it is a decree. It is a legal statement from heaven's courtroom that no attack, no curse, no scheme of darkness can destroy what God has sealed. The weapons may form, but they cannot finish. The enemy may plan, but he cannot prevail. You are covered under divine authority, and even when you feel surrounded, heaven surrounds your enemies in return. Understand this, you are not fighting for victory, you are fighting from victory. The cross settled that battle long ago. The power that raised Christ from the dead now resides in you. You are not meant to fear the darkness. The darkness fears your persistence. Every time you choose faith over fear, every time you choose prayer over panic, the enemy loses ground. Still, warfare can be exhausting. There will be moments when the pressure feels unbearable, when the confusion grows thick, and when fatigue whispers that it would be easier to stop. But you cannot retreat. Not now. You are too close to breakthrough. The very reason the battle has intensified is because you are nearing fulfillment. The enemy fights hardest at the edge of transition. When you feel weary, remember who fights beside you. Heaven's armies are not spectators, they are participants. Angels have been dispatched to guard your steps, to shield your heart, to strengthen your hands. The Spirit Himself intercedes through you when you no longer have words. You are never alone on the battlefield, even when the silence feels heavy. There will come a time when you will look back at this warfare and realize it was not meant to destroy you, but to define you. Every confrontation is teaching you mastery. Every delay is teaching you patience. Every conflict is sharpening your discernment. You are not losing. You are learning how to command spiritual authority. Do not despise the struggle, for it proves your strength. You would not be under attack if you were not a threat. The enemy sees what you carry and trembles at its potential. What you are becoming is far more powerful than what you have been through. The storms around you may roar, but the fire within you burns brighter. That is the mystery of divine resilience. The more you are pressed, the more the fragrance of your spirit fills the air. You are learning how to fight without fear, how to stand without shaking, how to trust even when the ground trembles beneath your feet. And soon, when this season passes, and it will pass, you will stand on the other side, stronger, wiser, and radiant with victory. You will understand why it had to be so intense, why it had to test every part of you, because the gift you carry could not rest upon an untested heart. So hold your ground, chosen one. The war for your anointing is fierce, but the outcome is settled. Every weapon raised against you has already been rendered powerless. The enemy may roar, but heaven has already spoken. You will not just survive this, you will reign through it. Chosen one. There comes a moment when solitude stops feeling like punishment and begins to reveal itself as sanctuary. You once believed that isolation meant rejection, that being separated from familiar voices was a sign of divine absence. But now, as you look back, you can sense that solitude was never about abandonment. It was about refinement. Heaven needed to pull you away from noise so you could learn the sound of your own spirit. You see, destiny rarely develops in the crowd. The noise of opinions, the distractions of performance, and the need for approval can drown out the whisper of divine instruction. When God hides you, it is not because you are unworthy, it is because you are too valuable to be exposed prematurely. Diamonds form under pressure, but they are also hidden in the dark before they shine. You, too, were being formed in the shadows. There were days when you felt forgotten, when prayers echoed back in silence, when you questioned if you were still seen. But heaven saw, heaven heard. Heaven kept the world's hands off you because the world was not ready for what you were becoming. The pain of isolation was the price of preservation. You were being prepared to handle revelation without being consumed by pride. In the quiet, something changed inside you. The things that once defined you, titles, relationships, approval, began to lose their grip. You learned that peace does not come from applause, but from alignment. You discovered that the most powerful moments happen when no one is watching. That is where true authority is born, in the stillness, in the obscurity, in the intimate conversations between your soul and your Maker. The world teaches that progress must always be visible, but heaven works in mystery. The seasons that look unproductive are often the most sacred. Just as roots grow deeper before a tree breaks through the soil, your spirit was anchoring itself during those hidden years. Growth was happening underground, in silence, where no one could see. That's why when you re-emerge, you will not only rise, you will stand unshakable. The psalmist reminds us in the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 1. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. That secret place, your solitude, was not a prison but a pavilion, a protected space where heaven covered you under its shadow while reshaping your mind, healing your heart, and sharpening your discernment. You were not being delayed. You were being equipped. The silence around you was not emptiness, it was an atmosphere thick with instruction. Many cannot understand this kind of divine solitude. They crave noise, movement, and visibility. But you have learned to sit quietly in the presence of God and call it progress. You have discovered that stillness is not stagnation, it is strategy. Every moment alone was a lesson in hearing without distraction, trusting without proof, believing without signs. Those who have not learned silence will not recognize the sound of destiny when it speaks. Your wilderness was holy. In that place, you learned what matters and what must fall away. You learned that faith does not need an audience, that obedience often means walking unseen. You discovered how to breathe again without depending on applause, how to pray without needing results, how to stand without external validation. That is the kind of strength that cannot be shaken by criticism or praise. Now you understand why certain people drifted away. Heaven removed them, not because they were evil, but because they would have interfered with your transformation. The wrong voices can abort divine instruction. Solitude was heaven's way of detoxing your soul from counterfeit affirmation. It taught you how to hear God clearly again, without static, without confusion. There is beauty in this kind of aloneness. It is the space where the spirit becomes tangible, where peace becomes personal. It is in the quiet that creativity awakens, wisdom expands, and vision becomes clear. In silence, heaven paints the blueprint of your next chapter. Stroke by stroke, in whispers only your spirit can translate. So do not mourn the seasons when no one saw you. That invisibility was protection. The unseen years were the womb of your destiny. And when the time comes for you to step forward, you will carry an authority that cannot be taught, only cultivated in solitude. You will move differently, speak differently, and see differently because you have been shaped by stillness. You are now learning that the secret place is not just a season, it is a lifestyle. Even when the world begins to notice you, you will carry the silence of that sanctuary within you. The calm you found in solitude will remain your fortress amid noise. You will never fear being alone again, because you now know you were never truly alone. For in your quietest hours, heaven spoke loudest. And what was whispered in secret will soon be shouted in glory. Chosen one, in the quiet of your solitude, a new sound begins to stir. It is not the sound of chaos or confusion, but of calling. The voice that has always known your name begins to speak again, not from the outside, but from within. It is a voice unlike any other, steady, gentle, yet powerful enough to shatter the lies that once held you captive. You have heard it before in fragments, a whisper in the middle of a storm, a sense of peace that interrupted your fear, a thought too holy to have been your own. But now, the volume increases. The same voice that spoke galaxies into being is calling your name again. This is not imagination, it is recognition. The Creator always speaks to what He created, and your spirit knows the sound of its source. The world calls it intuition, but you know it as divine communication. The Spirit has been training your inner ear, teaching you to discern the difference between noise and instruction. That is why certain opportunities no longer appeal to you, why certain environments suddenly feel heavy, why some conversations leave you uneasy. The voice of God is fine-tuning your discernment so you will not mistake imitation for inspiration. There is a holy intimacy in hearing the voice of God. It is not always thunder or fire, it often comes as peace. Sometimes it arrives as conviction, sometimes as direction, sometimes as stillness. But it always carries the same weight, love wrapped in authority. The same voice that once said, "Let there be light," now says, "Let there be purpose in you." As it was written in the book of John, chapter 10, verse 27, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." That is your identity. You are not a stranger wandering through chaos. You are a listener attuned to heaven's frequency. You were never meant to move by sight alone, but by sound, the sound of His guidance, His reassurance, His unshakable truth. But to hear Him, you must protect your atmosphere. The divine voice is clear, but the world is loud. Every distraction, every negative thought, every anxious pattern is designed to crowd your inner space. That is why God has been teaching you the art of quieting your soul. His voice doesn't compete with chaos, it calls you out of it. Sometimes His words will comfort you, sometimes they will confront you. Both are love. When He says wait, it is not rejection but protection. When He says move, it is not pressure but invitation. And when He says rest, it is not idleness but preparation. The voice that guides you knows the future you cannot yet see. Trust it, even when it leads you into mystery. The same voice that led Moses through the wilderness, Elijah through despair, and Mary through divine wonders, the same voice speaking to you now. It does not change with centuries or cultures, it is the eternal sound of love. It may come through scripture, through dreams, through the quiet nudging of your spirit, but it always points back to truth. There will be moments when you will doubt yourself, wondering, is this really God? But remember this, His voice always aligns with peace, humility, and love. The enemy's voice breeds confusion, pride, and fear. You will know them by their fruit. The divine voice calls you higher without condemning you. It convicts, but never shames. It directs, but never dominates. Chosen one, you are entering a season where hearing will precede manifestation. The instructions God whispers now will determine the miracles that unfold next. Do not rush to act, pause to listen. Some doors will open only when you have obeyed what you heard in stillness. Heaven's strategies are often hidden in gentle whispers. When you learn to listen deeply, even silence becomes sacred. Because in silence, you start to hear not just words, but presence. You begin to realize that God is not only speaking to you, He is speaking through you. Your voice becomes an echo of His. Every act of kindness, every word of truth, every gesture of compassion becomes divine speech embodied. Now, if your spirit feels this truth stirring within, let your heart respond. Type speak, Lord. Those two words are not just a comment, they are a doorway. When you write them, you are echoing the same posture Samuel took when heaven first called his name. You are saying, I am listening. I am ready. I am yours. The moment you declare it, something happens in the unseen realm. The frequency of heaven draws nearer. The noise begins to fade. The instructions meant only for you start to surface in dreams, in signs, in sudden knowing. Your obedience opens the channel wider. You were never meant to wander in silence. You were meant to walk in communion. And now, as heaven calls again, all of creation waits for your answer. So still yourself, open your heart, and whisper the words that shake eternity. Speak, Lord. For the voice that calls your name does not only want to be heard, it wants to be followed. Chosen one, the moment you begin to recognize the voice of heaven within you, something magnificent happens. You rise. You no longer crawl through the days questioning your worth. You stand with quiet authority, wearing humility as your crown. You begin to move differently, speak differently, even breathe differently. You realize that you were never meant to bow to fear. You were designed to reign through faith. You see, the rise of a chosen one does not come with thunder or applause. It comes softly, like the sun returning after a long night. You feel it first as clarity, a knowing that the season of hiding is over. The things that once made you small no longer fit you. The old identity falls away like a shell that has finished its purpose. The real you, radiant and refined, begins to emerge. But to rise is not only to stand taller, it is to bow deeper. True power is clothed in humility. The crown heaven places upon your head is invisible to the world, but undeniable in the spirit. It glows through your patience, your compassion, your obedience. You don't need to announce it. Your presence will speak. The meekness you have learned is not weakness, it is mastery. The scripture affirms this truth in the first letter of Peter, chapter 5, verse 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. You are the lantern in a night village, the flame that reminds travelers there is still home, still hope, still warmth ahead. The higher you are lifted, the more light you can cast. But remember, a lantern shines not by pride, but by fire. That fire must be tended carefully. Keep humility as your oil, gratitude as your wick, and love as your flame. Without these, even the most gifted will flicker out. There will be moments when you wonder if your small efforts matter. They do. Every word of kindness, every prayer whispered in faith, every seed of love planted in silence adds up to a harvest. Heaven watches closely. You are not just rising for yourself, you are rising so others can find their way by your light. Now, if this word resonates within your spirit, take a gentle step of response. When you like this message, it is not about approval, it is about alignment. It says, "This light lives in me too." When you share it, you become like a lighthouse keeper, passing the flame from one soul to another, guiding someone who may be standing where you once stood in the shadows. Searching for direction. When you subscribe, you are not joining a crowd, you are joining a current, a flow of divine revelation, reminders, and encouragement meant to keep your spirit burning steadily in a world that tries to dim it daily. You are saying, "Keep the light coming. I want to stay in tune with heaven's frequency." And if you feel led to give, do it not out of pressure, but out of gratitude. Think of it like tending a vineyard. Every seed you plant helps this vineyard of words continue to bear fruit for souls who thirst for hope. Your generosity is like water poured at the roots. It sustains the soil that nourishes others. When you sow into light, heaven multiplies it in unseen ways. Every offering, no matter how small, becomes a prayer in motion. Let your giving, your listening, your sharing, be a reflection of the humility that crowns you. For to rise is not to stand above others, but to stand among them steadfast, gentle, shining. You are not rising for recognition, you are rising for redemption. You are the proof that grace still works, that faith still wins, that love still transforms. So breathe in this moment, chosen one. The ground beneath your feet has shifted. The weight that once bowed your shoulders has become the foundation beneath your crown. You are standing taller not because you fought harder, but because you surrendered deeper. The King has seen your heart and declared, "Now is the time." As you walk forward, do so with reverence, to carry your crown lightly, knowing it was never meant for decoration, it was meant for service. The hands that hold the crown must also wash feet. The power you carry is not for dominance, but for deliverance. You rise to lift others, you shine to guide them home. So let your light speak, let your humility roar. Let every breath you take from this moment on be worship, quiet, radiant, and unstoppable. Chosen one, when God lifts you, He does not simply raise your position, He transforms your essence. The light that once flickered timidly inside you begins to blaze outward, and suddenly the darkness that surrounded you no longer feels intimidating. You have entered a new phase of existence, one marked by illumination. The light of heaven has found its dwelling place within you, and from this moment forward, you become a living beacon in a world that forgets how to see. There is a sacred weight to this light. It is not decorative, it is defensive. It repels deception, it exposes falsehood, and it warms those who have grown cold in despair. You are no longer just surviving, you are radiating. You are the evidence that divine transformation is real. The fire within you is not mere inspiration, it is divine ignition, a flame kindled by the very breath of God. When people encounter you, they may not fully understand what they feel, but their spirits will recognize it. You will notice the atmosphere shifting when you speak, not because of eloquence, but because your words now carry light. When you walk into spaces heavy with confusion or fear, you will bring sudden peace. This is not human charisma, it is the mantle of light. Jesus said it plainly in the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. You were not created to hide anymore. The light you carry is meant to be seen not for your glory, but for God's reflection through you. A city on a hill draws travelers not because the hill is magnificent, but because the light atop it refuses to go out. That is who you are now, a reminder that darkness never wins when light refuses to surrender. But light, as glorious as it is, also attracts opposition. Just as moths swarm to a flame, so too do distractions, temptations, and envy gather around those who shine. You must guard the flame with humility. Never let pride become the shadow that dims it. The moment you begin to think the light is yours, it starts to flicker. Always remember the glow within you is borrowed, it is divine energy and trusted, not owned. You will soon realize that the light is not meant only to guide others, it is also meant to purify you continually. Every time you extend grace, the light deepens. Every time you forgive, it strengthens. Every time you resist bitterness, it shines brighter. The radiance within you thrives not in perfection, but in purity of intention. God's light moves through hearts that stay open, not flawless. The more you walk in that awareness, the more authority you will carry without effort. Light does not compete with darkness, it simply reveals. In the same way, you do not need to argue your worth, prove your calling, or demand recognition. Just keep shining. Time will always tell the difference between imitation and anointing. There is also a mystery in this mantle of light. The very illumination that exposes your path also reveals what no longer belongs there. Relationships, habits, or mindsets that cannot walk in your new brightness will naturally fall away. Do not chase what retreats from your light, it simply means their season in your story is complete. Let go gracefully. This light is both armor and assignment. It will protect you from despair and empower you to restore hope to others. You will become a walking reminder that faith still has power. People will look at you and sense that peace is possible again. Some will ask how you found it, expecting a formula. But you will smile and tell them, it wasn't me, it was grace. Remember, this light must move. Stagnant light fades. Continue to walk, to grow, to learn, to serve. Keep feeding your inner fire with prayer, reflection, and acts of love. The more you pour out, the more heaven pours in. That is how divine energy flows, never hoarded, always shared. Chosen one. The mantle of light does not rest lightly. It asks for surrender every day. It asks you to forgive when wounded, to love when misunderstood, to stay kind when others are cruel. Yet it rewards you with peace beyond understanding. The greater your obedience, the brighter your glow. Do not be afraid when people misunderstand you. Even the purest light looks harsh to eyes that have lived too long in darkness. You are not here to be understood by everyone. You are here to be faithful. Shine anyway. Illuminate anyway. Love anyway. For as long as you walk in this world, there will be shadows. But shadows cannot exist without light. Every time you face opposition, remember that it only appears because you are shining strong enough to cast one. That is not failure, it is confirmation. So go on, radiant one. Walk as a reflection of the divine. Be the sunrise in someone's endless night, the candle in their dark room, the lighthouse in their storm. The same spirit that ignited galaxies burns now within you. You are the light of the world, and no darkness can extinguish you. Chosen one. Every divine gift carries a test. The light that now burns so brightly within you will, at times, be tried by wind and shadow. It is not punishment, it is proof. Heaven never tests to expose weakness, it tests to reveal strength. You are entering a chapter where what you have received will be refined, not to destroy it, but to make it unshakable. There will come moments when your faith will tremble. You will look around and see circumstances that seem to contradict every promise you've held. You will question, did I really hear God right? The silence may return for a season, not because the voice has vanished, but because it is now trusting you to walk by what you already know. Faith does not always feel secure, it simply remains standing when nothing else does. The test of your gift is not always about success or failure. Sometimes it comes as stillness, waiting, obedience that feels inconvenient, or compassion for someone who has wronged you. These are the unseen examinations of your spirit. The test will ask, can you still serve without recognition? Can you still give when no one is watching? Can you still love when it hurts? Heaven asks these questions not to shame you, but to deepen you. For a gift untested is a gift unproven. The finest gold must pass through fire, the strongest trees must endure storms. The anointing you carry is too precious to remain fragile. God strengthens it by allowing pressure not to crush you, but to clarify you. The word of wisdom reminds us in the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 3. The testing of your faith produces perseverance. These words are not comfort alone, they are instruction. Perseverance is not endurance through suffering alone. It is faith that grows muscle under resistance. It is the ability to keep believing even when there is no evidence that belief is working. Perseverance transforms the fragile into the unbreakable. And you, chosen one, are being sculpted into something unbreakable. Every unanswered prayer, every closed door, every season of uncertainty has not been wasted. Heaven is building within you a strength that is silent but immovable. You are learning to stand in peace even when storms rage around you. You are learning that obedience matters more than outcome. That trust is not a feeling, it is a decision. There will be moments when people around you cannot understand why you continue to believe. They may mock your hope, question your choices, or call your patience foolish. But that is because they cannot see what you see. You have heard a promise they have not heard. You have felt a fire they have not felt. You walk with a knowing that defies logic because it comes from eternity, not circumstance. Your test may not look like anyone else's. For some, it is the loss of something dear. For others, it is the burden of carrying greatness in a place that seems too small. But no matter how it manifests, every test has the same purpose: to prepare you for expansion. The wilderness is not forever, it is the training ground of warriors. Chosen one, when the testing intensifies, remember what it means. Heaven tests before it trusts. The very pressure you feel is the signal that your next level is near. You are being measured for the mantle you are about to wear. The discomfort you feel is growth in motion. So do not run from the fire. Stand within it, knowing it cannot consume what is pure. It only burns away what no longer belongs to you. Fear, doubt, pride, hesitation. You will emerge brighter, lighter, and freer. And when the moment feels heavy, when you question how much more you can take, look back at how far you've come. Remember the silence that once scared you but now feels sacred. Recall the nights you thought you wouldn't survive but did. You have been through too much to stop here. The same God who carried you through the valley will carry you through this refining now. If this word speaks directly to your current season, if you feel the truth pressing gently on your heart, take a breath and let heaven hear your agreement. Type 99999 below. This number is more than digits, it is a symbol of completion and breakthrough. It represents the closing of an old test and the dawning of a new level of maturity. When you write it, you are saying, I will not break under testing, I will rise refined. It is your silent declaration to heaven that you understand fire does not end you. It reveals you. The test is not a curse, it is a crown in disguise. You are not being punished, you are being perfected. And soon, when the fire cools and the smoke clears, you will stand unburned, carrying wisdom that glows from within. Chosen one, lift your eyes. What feels like trial is transformation. The gift that was once fragile is now unshakable. You are passing through the test, and the world will soon see what heaven has always known you were built to shine. Chosen one, now that you have endured the refining fire, something extraordinary begins to happen. You find yourself walking among those who are still asleep, souls unaware of the divine spark waiting within them. You move through a world distracted by noise, ambition, and endless striving, and you see it differently now. The eyes that once saw pain now see purpose. The heart that once craved validation now beats for understanding. You are among the unawakened, not to judge them, but to guide them. The path of the awakened is a lonely one, not because it lacks company, but because it carries depth. You begin to notice what others ignore. You sense pain hiding behind laughter, fear beneath confidence, confusion wrapped in arrogance. The world calls it empathy, but you know it as discernment. It is the spiritual radar heaven has installed in your soul, allowing you to navigate human hearts with divine precision. You may feel misunderstood in this season. Some will mistake your quiet for pride, your boundaries for distance, your solitude for arrogance. They will not see that you are walking carefully, listening, observing, praying quietly even when you appear still. You are learning how to carry revelation without revealing everything. There is wisdom in silence. There is power in restraint. As you walk among the unawakened, remember this truth: compassion is your greatest weapon. The goal is not to prove who you are, it is to remind others who they are. You have seen the beauty of light after darkness, and now your task is to reflect it. The ones who are hardest to love are often the ones most desperate to be understood. Their hostility is a cry for healing. Their coldness is self-protection. The words of Christ echo through the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 16. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Your assignment is not to preach with volume, but to live with visibility. Your light is not a spotlight, it is a lantern. You are not here to impress. You are here to illuminate. The unawakened do not need lectures, they need examples. They must see patience when they expect anger, love when they expect retaliation, grace when they expect judgment. Every act of kindness becomes a sermon without words. There will be days when you grow weary. The gap between what you see spiritually and what others can understand may feel vast. But remember, once you too were sleeping. You, too, once doubted your worth until heaven called your name. The same patience that God extended to you must now flow through you toward others. Love them quietly. Pray for them secretly. Plant seeds of truth and let time and grace water them. To walk among the unawakened is to live as both light and mirror. You reflect heaven, but you also reveal humanity. The closer people come to you, the more clearly they begin to see themselves. Some will be drawn to it, others will recoil. But do not take either reaction personally. Light exposes what darkness hides. Your presence will either inspire healing or provoke resistance. But in both cases, transformation has begun. You are not called to fix everyone, you are called to carry presence. Your very stillness becomes intercession. Your gentleness becomes testimony. The light within you is contagious, but it spreads not through argument, only through authenticity. Simply by existing in truth, you challenge lies. Simply by remaining kind, you confront cruelty. Simply by being consistent, you restore faith in what is good. And yet, as you give light, do not forget to rest in it. The healer must also be healed. The giver must also receive. Spend time in the quiet again, returning to the source that fills you. You cannot pour from emptiness. You are not a machine of miracles. You are a vessel of mercy. Stay rooted in prayer, grounded in peace, and gentle with yourself. The unawakened world may not thank you, but heaven notices every smile you restore, every burden you help lift, every word you speak in love is recorded in divine memory. None of it is wasted. Even the smallest act of light echoes in eternity. As you walk through this realm of shadows, remember you are not meant to escape the world, but to transform the atmosphere around you. Your life is a bridge between realms, the visible and invisible, the temporal and eternal. You are the proof that heaven still touches earth through human hands. So walk gently, but walk boldly. You are light wrapped in flesh, eternity wearing time. You are a glimpse of heaven that others encounter without realizing it. The unawakened may not yet understand what you carry, but they will feel it. And someday, when their own eyes open, they will remember the warmth of your presence and know that it was divine. Continue to shine, chosen one, not for applause, not for recognition, but because it is your nature. Light cannot help but illuminate, and you cannot help but reveal love. This is who you were always meant to be, chosen one. Every moment of obedience sends ripples through eternity. Heaven watches as you walk steadily through your purpose, and now slowly but unmistakably the world begins to respond. Signs start aligning like constellations in the night sky, proof that what was promised long ago is unfolding exactly as it was written. You are witnessing divine confirmation. At first, it will feel subtle. A message arrives at the right time. A door opens after years of waiting. Someone you thought lost reappears, speaking words that echo what heaven has whispered in your heart. These are not coincidences, they are signatures, God's way of signing His name across your story. You begin to notice patterns of grace repeating themselves, prayers you forgot you prayed being answered in unexpected ways. Opportunities re-emerging with new timing. People drawn to your light without understanding why. The divine hand is moving gently yet firmly, aligning events, places, and hearts in perfect synchronization. Every delay, every detour, every moment of confusion now reveals its purpose. You were never behind. You were being aligned. The scripture declares in the book of Mark, chapter 16, verse 17, "And these signs shall follow them that believe." You are living those words now. Faith has produced evidence. The signs that surround you are not random, they are the echo of your belief. The moment you chose trust over fear, heaven began orchestrating the unseen. What seemed like waiting was preparation. What felt like silence was calibration. God was arranging every detail so that your steps would align perfectly with destiny's rhythm. Divine confirmation does not always appear in grand gestures. Sometimes it comes as peace. You walk into a room and feel an invisible calm settle over you that is heaven saying, "You are exactly where I need you to be." Other times it comes as a sudden awareness, a divine knowing that something sacred is unfolding beneath the surface. You can sense it like the shift in the wind before rain, a spiritual fragrance that precedes manifestation. Do not underestimate these confirmations, no matter how small. They are divine winks from heaven, gentle reminders that you are seen, known, and guided. Even the most ordinary moments begin to glow with meaning. You realize that the supernatural is not confined to miracles and visions, it lives quietly inside every surrendered decision. The more you walk in alignment, the more synchronicities appear. What once seemed random now forms a pattern of perfection. The conversation you overhear becomes an answer to prayer. The passage you read confirms a dream. The inner peace that follows a difficult choice reassures you that heaven approves. It is as though life itself has begun to speak a divine language you can now understand. Yet, with confirmation comes responsibility. Signs are not decorations, they are directions. Every revelation carries instruction, and every confirmation requires movement. The sign is not the destination. It is the compass pointing the way. Heaven confirms not to make you comfortable, but to make you confident in your next step. This is where maturity meets faith. When you no longer chase signs but allow them to accompany obedience, you step into the rhythm of divine partnership. You do not seek proof, you walk as proof. Your life itself becomes a sign for others, evidence that God is real, that His timing is flawless, that His promises never fail. Chosen one. Understand this sacred truth: you are not merely living under divine favor, you are walking as divine evidence. Every step you take confirms that heaven's word does not return void. You are the fulfillment of prayers your ancestors once whispered. You are the continuation of promises made generations ago. Your existence is a living prophecy in motion. And those signs will continue to appear. They are no longer your anchor. Faith is. You are no longer the one searching for proof. You are the one carrying it. The peace in your spirit, the wisdom in your words, the grace in your actions, these are signs that heaven has completed its work in you. Still, do not forget gratitude. Every confirmation deserves acknowledgement. When a sign appears, pause and whisper, "I see you." God and gratitude seals revelation. It tells heaven that you recognize its fingerprints. The thankful heart multiplies divine encounters because recognition breeds repetition. The more you notice, the more you will see. As this season unfolds, you will realize that you no longer chase miracles, they follow you. You will understand that you no longer beg for blessings, they are drawn to the light you carry. You will no longer wait for proof, you will become it. So walk in quiet confidence. Chosen one, heaven is speaking through alignment, through divine timing. through the seamless orchestration of your days. Every step, every sigh, every seemingly random detail is part of a larger design. You are walking inside a story written by the author of eternity, and each page turns with precision. You do not need to search for signs anymore. You are the sign, the living testimony that faith works, that light wins, that God keeps His word. Chosen one, something beautiful happens when light finds light. You have walked through isolation, endurance, revelation, and now the time of gathering has come. Heaven is drawing together the scattered sparks, the ones who have walked through similar fires, carried similar burdens, and emerged glowing with divine strength. You will begin to notice them, souls who speak your language without words, who understand pain without explanation, who carry peace in the same rhythm as your spirit. This is not coincidence, it is convergence. When divine purpose gathers its people, it is like the stars forming constellations. Alone, each shines in silence. Together they tell a story written across the night sky. You are one of those lights meant to join with others, to form patterns of grace that the world can follow. The gathering of the remnant is not about religion or fame. It is about restoration. Heaven is assembling hearts that still burn, voices that still believe, and hands that still serve when the world grows cold. It is written in the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 20. For where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there am I with them. That is the secret to divine community. It does not take multitudes, just alignment. The power of the remnant is not in numbers, but in unity. When even a few chosen ones come together with purity of purpose, heaven leans closer. The same presence that split seas and shook mountains still moves among those who gather in His name. You will know them when you meet them. There will be no competition, only recognition. You will feel peace where you once felt guarded. Their presence will feel like home, like finding missing pieces of your own soul. Together, you will build, pray, and lift others, not from ambition but from love. Heaven designed you not to shine alone, but to be part of a constellation of light strong enough to pierce any darkness. And just as lanterns burn brighter when placed side by side, your connection to these divine companions will multiply your strength. The dreams that once seemed too heavy to carry alone will find wings in shared faith. What felt impossible will suddenly become natural, because the power of unity amplifies what obedience begins. This, beloved, is why your voice matters. Every like, every share, every word you speak into this space is not an algorithmic gesture. It is participation in the divine network of light. When you like this message, it is more than agreement, it is resonance. It tells heaven, this truth lives in me too. You add your flame to a collective fire that refuses to go out. When you share it, imagine releasing a spark across a dark field, one that could ignite a forgotten soul, someone still wandering through their night. The light you carry could be the match that sets faith aflame in someone you'll never meet. Sharing is not just digital, it is spiritual. It is a form of evangelism for the heart, a way of spreading warmth where the world has gone cold. When you subscribe, you are not simply joining a channel. You are stepping into an ongoing river of revelation, where new words of hope and strength continue to flow. You are saying to heaven, keep pouring, keep speaking, keep reminding me who I am. It is your way of remaining anchored in the current of divine conversation. And when you donate, let it be from a place of gratitude, not obligation. Giving is sacred soil work. It is like watering the roots of a tree that has given you shade. Every drop you pour helps this light reach farther. helping others find hope in the words that have carried you. Your seed sustains the voice that sustains many. And heaven always multiplies seeds planted in gratitude. It turns giving into harvest, generosity into legacy. You are not supporting a voice. You are investing in a vision of awakening, of restoration, of collective transformation. Each act of generosity becomes a ripple in eternity, extending far beyond screens or seasons. And when you leave a comment, do not underestimate its power. It is not just text, it is testimony. When you write, you mark your agreement in the spiritual realm. You tell heaven and earth, I am part of this move. Your words may strengthen someone else, reminding them that they are not alone. In a world full of noise, a single comment of truth becomes a seed of peace. Chosen one. What is happening now is bigger than any one person. It is a tapestry being woven by unseen hands. Each act of connection, each expression of faith, each small contribution is a thread of light in that grand design. You are part of something ancient and divine, a gathering of lights that will outshine generations of darkness. So remain steadfast. Keep the flame alive in whatever way you can. The gathering is here. The movement is real, and heaven is watching as the chosen ones recognize each other again. You are not alone anymore. You are part of the constellation. Shine together. Build together. Believe together. Chosen one. What once lived as a whisper inside you has now become a song that others can hear. The gift that was planted in secrecy has begun to multiply. Quietly at first, and then all at once like dawn spilling across the horizon. You have carried it faithfully through silence, struggle, and surrender, and now heaven begins to release its fruit through your life. What once existed as potential now becomes overflow. The multiplication of your gift does not arrive with thunder. It manifests through transformation. You begin to notice that the way you speak, act, and even think begins to ripple outward. Your presence becomes catalytic. Something shifts in people simply because they encountered your peace. What used to drain you now feeds others. You have become a living river, a vessel through which divine power flows continuously. It is no longer about what you can achieve, but what heaven can do through you. You realize that the gift was never about possession. It was always about partnership. God does not give gifts for ownership, He gives them for stewardship. And now, the same anointing that once healed you begins to heal others through your obedience. The words you speak carry weight, not because of eloquence, but because of alignment. Your prayers pierce the atmosphere with quiet authority. Your hands carry comfort that feels like light. Even your silence begins to minister to those who sit near you. That is how heaven multiplies its work, not by adding tasks, but by expanding presence. The wisdom of heaven affirms this through the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 48. To whom much is given, much will be required. This is not a warning, it is an invitation. The more heaven entrusts to you, the greater the opportunity to become a conduit of grace. Responsibility is the shadow of blessing. The more your light grows, the more sacred your choices must become. The higher you rise, the deeper your roots must remain. You will begin to feel this truth pressing gently on your heart, a quiet accountability that calls you higher. You will sense when to speak and when to stay silent, when to move and when to wait. This discernment is heaven's way of teaching you rhythm, so that your gift never becomes reckless. Multiplication without maturity can destroy what it was meant to build. But you, chosen one, have been prepared for this. There will be seasons when the gift flows abundantly and others when it seems hidden again. Do not mistake the ebb for loss. Even rivers rest between bends. God cycles the flow so that you remain dependent, not complacent. The pauses are not punishment, they are replenishment. You will see your influence touch lives far beyond your reach. Words spoken in faith will travel to places your feet have never walked. Acts of kindness done in silence will echo through generations. The gift multiplies not only in what you do, but in what you become. Every time you choose love over pride, forgiveness over vengeance, truth over convenience, you sow new seeds that heaven will multiply. You will begin to encounter those whose lives mirror your own journey. They will remind you of who you were before grace found you. In them, you will see your past pain transformed into present purpose. As you guide them, teach them, and love them, you will realize that you are not merely helping others, you are continuing your own healing through service. This is how heaven works. The more you pour out, the more it fills you again. The vessel that empties itself for love never runs dry. The more you bless, the more you are blessed. The more you give, the more abundance flows through your life in forms that cannot be measured by earthly scales. Chosen one. Be careful not to underestimate your influence. You may think your life is small, but to someone watching quietly from the shadows, your faith is the proof that hope still lives. You may believe your efforts are unseen, but heaven watches every seed. And seeds, once sown, have no choice but to grow. The multiplication of your gift will not always look dramatic. Sometimes it appears as a child finding courage, a stranger finding peace, a heart finding God again through something you said or did without realizing it. The divine harvest is vast, and its fruits are often invisible until eternity reveals them. Yet, as your gift continues to expand, remember to protect it. Do not allow distraction to dilute it or pride to distort it. Stay grounded in the same humility that carried you through the wilderness. Keep your spirit teachable, your heart soft, your motives pure. The greatest danger to divine multiplication is self-glory, but you have been trained to deflect the spotlight and reflect it instead. In this season, everything you touch carries divine fingerprints. Every word, every act, every presence moment becomes an extension of heaven's reach. The gift has multiplied, not just in scale, but in essence it now lives beyond you. It becomes legacy, influence, transformation. And when you see its fruit, when others begin to glow with the same fire that once burned in you, know that this is how God works through the chosen. He lights one candle, and that candle ignites 1,000 more. The flame never diminishes, it only spreads. So walk gently, chosen one. The harvest has begun. The river flows through you now. Unstoppable, unending, undeniable. You are no longer the seed, you are the field. Chosen one. This is the moment where the circle closes, the place where everything you have walked through begins to make sense. Every silence, every storm, every strange detour now reveals its purpose. It was all preparation for commission. You have been tested, refined, and multiplied, and now heaven entrusts you with what few can carry: continuation. The time of learning is giving way to the time of living. You are no longer being prepared, you are being sent. The eternal commission is not a single assignment, it is a way of being. It is waking each morning aware that you are the answer to someone's prayer. It is walking through ordinary spaces with extraordinary awareness. Wherever your feet touch becomes holy ground because you carry presence. Wherever your words fall becomes soil for faith to grow. You have become the living continuation of divine purpose. The scripture declares in the book of Matthew, chapter 28, verse 19. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. These words are not history. They are heartbeat. They were not spoken only to apostles long gone, they were spoken into eternity, meant to awaken each generation of the chosen to their holy responsibility. And now, the echo of that commission reaches you. It whispers through your spirit, go. Going does not always mean crossing ocean. Sometimes it means crossing the street. Sometimes it means forgiving where bitterness once grew. Sometimes it means speaking truth in a world addicted to noise. To go is to live awake, to see every encounter as sacred, every conversation as ministry, every breath as worship. The Great Commission is not confined to pulpits. It flows through the daily rhythm of those who dare to love beyond comfort. You have learned that ministry is not a title but a posture. It is choosing to respond with grace when offense would be easier. It is holding peace in a world that feeds on outrage. It is living so fully surrendered that your life itself becomes a sermon. You may never know how many lives you will touch, but heaven counts every ripple. The eternal commission is a torch passed from generation to generation. The prophets carried it in deserts. The apostles carried it through persecution, and now it rests in your hands. The same flame that guided them burns in you. It is not a burden, it is an honor. To be chosen is to be trusted with light that must never be extinguished. You have felt that light flicker through seasons of doubt, yet it never went out. That persistence is your proof. The one who began this work in you will finish it through you. What you once saw as survival was actually training for legacy. You were not just being healed, you were being equipped to heal. Now the horizon opens wide before you. The world you once feared now feels different, as if infused with quiet invitation. The faces you pass are not strangers, they are assignments. The places you tread are not random, they are platforms. Heaven's network stretches before you, invisible but active, ready to amplify every act of obedience. Still, do not mistake this commission for restlessness. The call to go is also the call to remain rooted in grace. You are not being sent to conquer, but to carry compassion. You go not as a soldier of pride, but as a messenger of peace. The true power of the chosen is gentleness, the kind of strength that heals rather than harms, that lifts rather than dominates. And as you step into this commission, remember what you have learned along the way. Revelation without love becomes noise. Power without humility becomes danger. And calling without character becomes collapse. But you have been shaped by both fire and silence. You know how to bow before you build, how to listen before you speak, how to rest before you run. That is what makes your commission eternal. It will not fade with time because it was forged in eternity. There will be days when you doubt the significance of your impact, when the world's indifference tempts you to shrink back. But heaven measures differently. Every act of faith, however small, echoes forever. The hand you hold, the word you speak, the prayer you whisper, all of it weaves into the tapestry of redemption that heaven continues to craft through human hearts. Chosen one, take a breath. You have journeyed through fire and silence, through revelation and restoration. You have stood where few dare to stand, between heaven's whisper and earth's weight, and you have not broken. You have listened, grown, and remembered who you are. The words you've read are not endings. They are beginnings. The commission now rests in your hands, and the world waits for the sound of your steps. Every chosen one carries light, but that light is not meant to flicker alone. When you like this message, think of it not as a reaction, but as a reflection, a soft flame joining 1,000 others across the world. Together, those small lights become a constellation of hope for weary souls searching for direction. When you share, imagine releasing a spark that could land on someone's darkest night. You may never know whose life it touches, but heaven does. Every act of sharing is a silent prayer, saying, "Let this light reach where I cannot go." When you comment, let your words become a seed. Write what this message stirred in you, or simply whisper gratitude in writing. Somewhere, another heart will read it and find strength. Even a single line can breathe life into someone who has forgotten how to hope. And when you subscribe, see it as choosing to remain connected to a well that will not run dry, a source of reminders, encouragement, and divine perspective in a world that constantly distracts. You are choosing to stay in the current of light, to keep your spirit nourished and your fire alive. You have completed the journey of the chosen. Now go live it, share it, and let your presence speak louder than any sermon. Your light has found its echo,